Hello guys, welcome back. It's been a while since the last video, but I've been pretty busy. And actually, I've already done what we're gonna do in this video. So we're gonna work on the neck some more, get the binding done, drill the tuning pegs, and that's pretty much it. So enjoy. Okay, so after I got the radius sanded on the fretboard, there was a little problem where some of the fret slots, not those, but they're not deep enough. They're just barely there on the end. So what I did was I got this saw. It's a little dusty. This saw, and I'm just going to resaw them a little bit so there's enough room for the fret to sit in there. It shouldn't take much, and in the middle I think they're all good. It's just on the side here, like that one, you can really, like, you can't even hardly tell there's front slots in there, but that's my fault for not cutting them deep enough on the table saw. So let's get these sawed on both ends and then push the frets in. Okay, hopefully that stays in focus, but you can kind of see, oh, stupid mic. What I'm doing here is putting the end very carefully, just going slow. Let's see. Sorry, the mic. That looks pretty good. So now we just put it on the rest of the neck. So one thing I'm doing is I'm not pushing down too hard, trying not to anyway, just kind of letting the saw do the work, trying to avoid tear out. There was a tiny bit there. Since we're putting binding on it, I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, just kind of letting the saw do the work, not putting too much force on it, just making sure it's nice and straight and stays in the line. So it's really not taking very many strokes. I don't know, it cuts on the pool, so maybe 5 or 6 pulls. And it looks like, you know, I'm like, yeah. Looks like that's about all it takes, so, and I think it's just the very end. I should get a checker, but you know, whatever. Let's finish it up. That's done. Now I'm gonna flip it around and do the other end, just because it's a better angle for me as far as keeping it straight and being able to do that. So let's do that and flip it around. Oh, I'm using these little pieces of a stirrer stick to keep the clamps off the wood so it doesn't leave any oil stains and all that. So in case you're wondering, that's what these are for. All right, got the neck flipped around, so let's finish this other side and then hopefully we're done. Okay, so that looks much better. Hard to see not in the light, but yeah, that does look much better. A couple times I messed up there and somewhere over here. When I wasn't taking my own advice and I was kind of pushing too hard down on the saw, it doesn't take much for it to just pop out of the slots since I didn't have a guide or anything, but yeah, should be good. And actually, before we put the frets in, I gotta put the binding on. So, yeah. We'll put the binding on there and then we'll be ready to push the frets in. So, let's do that. Okay, so what I'm doing is just testing on the scrap neck that we threw away. I'm not using. Using some acetone as like a glue binder thing and tape to put pressure on it. Never done it before, so I just want to try it on this before I move on to the actual neck. So we'll see how that goes. We'll give it a minute. Taped it up. It's just a tiny piece, like 2 inches or whatever. Taped it up. Put some acetone in there. The acetone kind of messed up the first pieces of tape, so I put a big one over those. So we'll give it a little bit, and then we'll see how it comes out. Hopefully, it comes out well. Wow, that worked really well. It's already done. It's only been like a minute, maybe. And yeah, it's on there, so I'm gonna just get a chisel because it's kind of sticking up and just mess with this a little bit just so I have some practice. But yeah, it's pretty easy, just some acetone. Apparently it like melts the plastic a little bit, diffuse it with the wood. So yeah, let's get a chisel and see if I can get it to look nice. Okay. Well, that didn't work. It took the binding right off. Maybe I was taking too much. I don't think so, but maybe it just needs more time to sit too. I didn't want to let it sit for long enough, but pretty happy with that. So let's do the real one. Okay. This might be kind of messy, but gotta do it. So first, let me just cut about what I need real quick. Just so I'm not messing with that floppy binding piece. You can have a more manageable piece to work with. So it's just it's different on this side. Okay, let's make sure. Yep, that'll work. Okay, I don't have a tape dispenser, so this, I'm just gonna tear some pieces off. Have them ready to go. I need a tape dispenser. All right, that should be good. I guess let's start it. We got some acetone down. Put the tape on there. Make sure it's actually in the channel. And we'll squirt some more in there. Tape it down. Put another piece of tape there. Push it in, keep squirting acetone everywhere. Put a little on there. And tape. Put a little hair as well. Let's rip a couple pieces off. I don't think you have to be particularly quick while doing this, after you put the tape down, as in getting the whole thing up. Cut that out. We'll just cut that part out. A little. Okay, here we go, push it up. Squirt some acetone. This is very sensitive, so I'm trying to be careful of how hard I push the syringe down. Oops, forgot to pull more tape off. I think I'll definitely be investing in a tape deck after this. It's next on my list. That would make this much easier. Or much quicker, I guess. It's not hard pulling tape off. It's kind of annoying. Hopefully you can see this. Change the camera a little bit, okay. Let's finish this side up. A little bit in there. Come back. And the last little bit here. Okay, just gonna do one long piece of tape. Probably overkill, but whatever. Just want this to stick on there. Okay, now do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so got this all taped up. I don't know how long it takes. I think 10, 15-ish minutes, but probably let it sit for longer than that, just to be safe. But yeah, that'll look cool when it's all done. And then we'll take the chisel, or maybe I'll try my planes up there, a little block plane or something, because they look fun to use. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll take the tape off and trim it down. And I also need to put a little piece on the end there. Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll do that later. I'll have to kind of measure that one because I want it to look clean, but yeah, we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll heat it up and maybe I'll heat one piece up, wrap it around. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Go. We'll let it sit here and then we'll come back. Okay, so it's been a couple days. Actually, got kind of busy. Haven't been out here in a while. And I took all the tape off. I think it's gonna stay on there. It hasn't come off yet, so you can kind of see where the binding was a little too thin, so it's kind of, the fretboard is kind of showing through there, but it is what it is. It's also peeking over a little bit, so it was really close. But I'm gonna grab some of those snips and just try to get this off before I start sanding it, make it a little quicker. Alright, I got these StewMac clippers that are like really shaved down there. They're really flush here. So what I'm gonna do is just this. All the way down the neck. And then once that's done, we'll go and sand this down so it's flush. I'll have to go over it. Obviously there's some stained stuff from the acetone, but yeah, I'm gonna go down this way and then down the other half, and then we'll get the radius block out and sand the rest. Okay, so I'm taking this little little hand plane, little block plane or something, and I'm kind of just going over to smooth it out a little bit before I use this sanding block, and it's actually going pretty okay for this thing never being sharpened. Like right there, it's basically done right there on this side. So just want to get it close and then finish it with the sanding block so it matches the radius. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're good there. Yeah, because that one a little too far, but let's get on this side a little bit. And this plane hasn't been sharpened at all. It's just how it came from when I bought it from the store. As you can see, it's kind of rusted. Maybe you can see that, but you know, it was a good, cheap little plane, but it's doing good right here on this plastic. Pretty good. We just clean it up a bit down here. I'm definitely not an expert with this, with any kind of plane, so just not grabbing on here. Okay, I think that's good. I think what I'm gonna do is, well, let's wipe it. Let's clean up a little bit first. Let's get this out of the way. Let's clean off this. And what I'm gonna do is just sand until these marks from the acetone and tape are gone. And if you're wondering why I left these two little tags, I'm gonna try to heat them up and bend them around the bottom of the fretboard, but we'll see. We'll see. So let's give this a go. Look, almost good, I think. Yeah, it's not perfect yet, but we're getting there. Okay, so after a long time of sanding, it's finally done. I ended up using this pencil with some white lead in it and just scribbling on the board like we did before. I think we did it before. And sanded until all that was gone. The binding is nice and flush on the top. Not so much on the sides. We'll worry about that later. That looks awesome. Oh, besides this part. Let's get the heat gun out and try to fold these pieces in. Maybe one piece, and then we'll try to match it with cut off another piece of the big pile, but let's try that. I didn't film it just now, but just to try to get them as square as I can. Put them on its side and just pop the last bit off with the chisel. So, I mean, that's square enough, should be. So yeah, let's try to bend them. I've never done it before, so we'll see how it goes. All right, let's go. Let's try it. We'll heat it up. Wow. Okay, that really melted it good. So I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of hold it here. Maybe get a little tape on the bottom so it holds its form, and then squeeze a little acetone in there and put another piece on top. That was way easier than I expected it to be. When I might have held it on for too long, because when I pulled it away, the heat gun away, it was really melty, droopy. Nice. Let's do the other side real quick while this is still hot. It's really melty. So let's put a piece of tape to hold it against the wood. And I might have messed up trimming this because it's kind of beneath the fretboard a little bit, but what can you do? First time, so. All right, and a piece of tape on the end. Cool. So hopefully you could see what I was doing there, but melted it, you know, until it was really malleable. Kind of held it there for a second, and then put a piece of tape to hold it on the form. Squirted some acetone in there, which is what I used to do the rest of it, and put a piece of tape over the top. So we'll leave this here for 2 days probably. It's Friday now, so I'll come back on Sunday probably. Take it off, and then hopefully I can get a piece that fits perfectly in between here. I have enough left over to mess up a couple times to get it to look good. Okay, so I was just looking at everything. One thing I noticed, the binding is really thin now, which isn't exactly what I wanted, but it'll do it. I think I might have set the binding up too high. Also, don't know if you can get different thicknesses of binding, because you hard to see that. I don't know, but what can you do? We'll roll with it. It is what it is. So it looks nice from this side. It doesn't look bad, but you know, could be better. But it's my first time, so it is what it is. Okay, so while we wait for that to dry and all that stuff, I'm gonna drill the tuning peg holes. Should have drilled them before I did this to the headstock, but can't go back now. So what I got is this piece of scrap here that's gonna hold this up. And I got this 9mm drill bit. It's like 0.20 mil too big, but it should be fine once we get the actual tuning pegs in there. It shouldn't matter. So, yep, this will stop the drill bit from tearing out in the front, which we don't want. But these drill bits are pretty nice, so hopefully that won't happen. But yeah, I got them all marked here with a template somewhere up there. So let's drill them. Okay, hopefully you can see this okay. It's not the best angle, but it will do. Let's go. Okay, gotta reset my block real quick. It's getting in the way. Go. Okay. All right, here we go. Got our tuning holes drilled. So, I'll do a little sanding on the edge there, but let's just dry fit them and see how they look, because I bet they look pretty cool. Okay, so let's get the parts out, which you already saw, these like antique vintage looking tuners. Just think they look cool. And first we got the grommets. They will just slide in. Like I said, they're a little too big. I would like to have to hammer those in, but it's not the case right now. Okay. Already, I think I need to sand a little bit more here. This swoop comes out a little too far. that, oh, they just fell out because they're not screwed in, but tuners aren't as, they should look like this. And this bottom one is, it comes out, but it's a little short. And there is kind of a slant here, so I'll, that's something I gotta look into, but cool. I think that'll work. So, see, they shouldn't just fall out like that. Should be more friction fit in there, but nice. So I just need to flatten this out a little bit. It's a little too thick in some places, but, or just in this last one. So cool, looks cool.